let's get straight to the point. Number 8, the not hooked to a machine flex. Look, the biggest win after 30 days isn't just fitting into your high school jeans or having skin that doesn't look like greased pizza cardboard. It's looking at your future self and not seeing them strapped to a dialysis machine 3 times a week. Because let's be real, nobody wants that unpaid part-time job. When you quit sugar, you are actively dodging end-stage renal disease, or ESRD. That's medical speak for your kidneys totally rage quit. By letting the inflammation die down and giving those poor, overworked nephrons a break from the constant sugar assault, you're drastically lowering your chances of eventually needing a machine to clean your blood for you. Dialysis has a 5-year survival rate that's actually worse than many types of cancers. It's not a relaxing spa treatment, it's life support because your internal Brita filters finally gave up the ghost. 30 days of skipping the caramel macchiatos seems like a pretty solid trade-off to keep your organs on the inside of your body, actually doing their job, instead of relying on an external refrigerator-sized robot to keep you alive. That, my friends, is the ultimate long-term flex. Number 7, the great sodium sabotage. When you shovel sugar down your gullet, your insulin levels skyrocket. Insulin isn't just a sugar delivery service, it's also a signal to your kidneys to hold on to sodium. And where sodium goes, water follows like a desperate X. This creates a heavy, high-pressure environment in your internal plumbing. We're talking glomerular hyperfiltration, a fancy way of saying your kidneys are redlining just to keep up with the fluid volume. By day 14 of no sugar, your insulin finally chills out. The kidneys get the memo and dump the excess salt and water. This is why you suddenly lose 5 pounds and your face stops looking like a puffy marshmallow. You aren't just losing water weight, you're literally taking the hydraulic pressure off your delicate filtration units before they burst. High blood pressure is the silent assassin of the kidney world, and sugar is its favorite getaway driver. Lowering that pressure is like giving your kidneys a permanent vacation at a luxury spa instead of a 24/7 shift at a high-pressure car wash. It is biological relief at its finest, and your heart will probably send you a thank you note too. Number 6, the sticky siege of AGEs. When you flood your bloodstream with sugar, you're creating advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Doctors call them that because they literally age you from the inside out. These are nasty, sticky protein-sugar hybrids that act like biological superglue, gumming up the delicate basement membrane of your kidneys. Think of it as pouring liquid plastic into your home's plumbing. Once these AGEs settle into your kidney tissue, they trigger a massive inflammatory response. Your immune system shows up to the party, sees the mess, and starts blasting everything in sight, leading to scarring and permanent tissue death. By quitting sugar for 30 days, you aren't just stopping the production of new glue, you're giving your body a chance to clear out the existing trash. Without the constant influx of glucose, the oxidative stress levels drop, and the rusting of your organs slows down significantly. You're essentially switching from a diet of corrosive sludge back to high-grade fuel, allowing those microscopic filters to breathe again. It's the difference between a pristine mountain spring and a stagnant pond filled with discarded tires and sadness. Your kidneys deserve better than being a sugar-coated landfill. Number 5, the calcium prison break. Kidney stones aren't just bad luck. They're often a direct consequence of your sugar-soaked lifestyle. When you ingest high amounts of refined sugar, specifically fructose, it causes your kidneys to dump excessive amounts of calcium and uric acid into your urine. Normally, your kidneys are quite stingy with calcium. They want to keep it for your bones, not turn it into internal gravel. But sugar messes with the hormonal signals, forcing the calcium out. Meanwhile, the sugar also makes your urine more acidic, creating the perfect Goldilocks zone for these minerals to crystallize into painful little daggers. By day 30 of your sugar strike, you have fundamentally changed the chemistry of your pee. You've lowered the concentration of stone-forming crystals and increased the effectiveness of natural inhibitors that stop stones from growing.
You're essentially shutting down the manufacturing plant for misery pebbles. Instead of wondering if every twinge in your back is the start of a 3-day hospital stay, you can breathe easy knowing your urinary tract isn't currently hosting a construction site for calcified shrapnel. It's the ultimate internal peace treaty, and your bladder will absolutely thank you for not sending it a box of sharp rocks.
Number 4. The protein leakage lockdown. Normally, your kidneys are elite bouncers at a club, letting small waste products out while keeping the VIP proteins like albumin safely in your blood. But high sugar intake acts like a wrecking ball to these filters, making them porous and leaky, a condition called proteinuria. When you quit sugar, you're essentially repairing the holes in the fence. By the 30-day mark, the constant inflammation that makes your filtration barrier leaky begins to subside. Research shows that as insulin levels drop and blood pressure stabilizes, the amount of protein escaping into your urine significantly decreases. This is a huge deal because protein leakage is the canary in the coal mine for total kidney failure. Stopping the leak means your kidneys are finally regaining their structural integrity. You're no longer wasting the very building blocks your body needs to function just because you couldn't say no to a glazed donut. It's like finally fixing that expensive leak in your roof. Instead of just putting buckets down and hoping for the best, you're actually restoring the barrier. Your kidneys are moving from emergency mode back to efficiency mode, and that foamy warning sign in the toilet bowl finally starts to disappear.
Number 3. The glomerular red line recovery. This is what doctors call glomerular hyperfiltration. When your blood is thick with glucose, your kidneys ramp up the pressure to force that sludge through the filters. It's like trying to power wash a driveway using a tiny straw. Eventually, something is going to snap. By day 21 of your sugar-free journey, the brick is gone. Your kidneys finally drop the RPMs and stop working like they're in a high-stakes drag race. This decrease in intraglomerular pressure is the single best thing you can do to prevent nephron death. You're born with about 1 million nephrons per kidney, and once they burn out, they don't regenerate. They don't have a respawn button. By quitting the sweet stuff, you're stopping the senseless massacre of your microscopic filters. You're moving from a state of constant emergency to a sustainable cruise. It's the difference between a panicked sprint and a leisurely stroll. Your kidneys are no longer screaming in mechanical agony. They're catching their breath and working without the threat of a total blowout. It's not just a detox, it's a mechanical overhaul of your internal filtration plant.
Number 2. The withdrawal and the wipeout.
While your brain is screaming for a dopamine hit, your kidneys are experiencing their first moment of peace in years. In this initial phase, the massive osmotic diuresis finally stops. Sugar is a solute that drags water with it. When your blood sugar is high, your kidneys are forced to dump huge amounts of water just to flush the excess glucose out. This is why you're always thirsty and peeing every 20 minutes when you're on a sugar bender. It's like trying to put out a fire with a squirt gun. Once you cut the supply, that constant frantic flushing ends. Your body can finally regulate its own hydration levels without the interference of a glucose flood. Yes, you might have a headache, and yes, you might be irritable enough to fight a mailbox, but internally, the kidney fire department is finally clocking out for the night. You're stopping the cycle of dehydration and overfiltration that leaves your cells parched and your organs exhausted. It's the hump day of your 30-day journey. You just have to survive the mental storm to enjoy the biological calm that follows. Think of it as a mandatory software update for your metabolism. It's annoying and takes forever, but the system runs way smoother afterward.
Number 1. The Pancreas-Kidney power couple. The final boss of your 30-day challenge is the restoration of the relationship between your pancreas and your kidneys. These two are the power couple of your metabolism, but sugar is the toxic third party trying to break them up. When your pancreas is constantly screaming insulin because of your soda habit, your kidneys are the ones that pay the ultimate price through systemic inflammation. By the end of the month, your insulin sensitivity has done a complete 180. Your pancreas can finally stop shouting, and your kidneys can finally stop overreacting to every meal.
This is the Goldilocks zone where your body's chemistry is perfectly balanced. Not too sweet, not too salty, just right. You've successfully lowered your risk of type 2 diabetes, which is the absolute #1 reason people end up in kidney failure ward. You aren't just dieting, you are performing a manual override on a biological crash course. You've replaced a future of chronic medication and deteriorating health with a body that actually knows how to manage its own fuel. It's the ultimate victory. You've reclaimed your health from the clutches of the sugar industry, and your kidneys are finally back to being the efficient, silent superheroes they were always meant to be. Welcome back to the land of the living.
If you enjoyed seeing your kidneys get a second lease on life, smash that like button and share this with your soda-obsessed friends. Subscribe to Coolest Dude Explains for daily reality checks on your internal plumbing. We post every day, so don't miss out. Keep your filters clean and stay awesome. See you in the next one.